redo that, right?
Yeah, but it was out before I was born. It was made before
a lot
1981.
a lot of things out before you were born. My darling, my darling. Good morning, good morning. Happy Wednesday, happy Wednesday. I am Robert Henderson Jr., President, founder, CEO of the Henderson Financial Group. Joining me live here on Transitions for Wednesday show is my beautiful, gorgeous, fantastic, smart, elite, competent, my succession plan, my daughter, one and only, Hyacinth R. Henderson. How you doing?
I'm glad you refrained, although the whole World Wide Web already knows. However, so you didn't refrain. Couldn't help yourself, huh?
Yeah. Gotta get it out. Gotta get it
Yeah,
out.
I'm doing wonderfully well, feeling fantastic, amazing.
Good.
Leo season is here.
Wow. What does that really mean?
It's hot
Leo
outside. Season. It's just the sun.
How's
when
Leo
it's summer
season here, and it's not even August
exactly.
yet. It's not even July.
As soon as the summer starts summering, I'm like, oh my gosh, I come alive. Wow. I love it.
Leo is in like July and August, huh? And here it is. We just started in June.
Correct.
Saying Leo season.
Doesn't it feel like it? Can you feel it in the air?
Hot down in South Florida. Hot. Hot. It's just hot.
Exactly.
But in South Florida, we hadn't gotten the rain that we usually get.
I know my grass
since the beginning of the year. I mean, the grass is look like it's Arizona or Utah or something. You know? Wow, man! I tell you, I'm gonna be traveling. Matter of fact, Utah. I'll be in Utah next weekend. Next Wednesday. So I won't be here. Yeah. Yes. My schedule. How you see? Oh my God! For the whole month of June. And then I'm gonna be in Tennessee.
I saw you got something you booked. You come back one night, you leave the next day.
Oh man!
Why you did that?
Because it's education. I'm doing something.
I was like, okay,
Juba. And then for the whole month of July, I think I'm in the first week here in July, and the rest of the week I'm out.
I saw it. I was like, okay.
And then I come back for August.
Long as you're here August 7th.
Yes, because July 31st to August 3rd, I'm in Detroit for Certified Tax Coach.
Good. I love it.
Yeah.
And you'll be back. You're not going nowhere until after August 7th.
Right. That's true. Awesome. Busy schedule.
I love that for you.
Thinking about that, that's what our topic is right now, because we, had to make reservations at the plant those seeds now, but it's for tomorrow.
Exactly.
It's
Absolutely.
for tomorrow. And
100%.
Before we get into our conversation, our topic, because we're going to come back to that, planting the seed now, we already know we're going now, it's for tomorrow, is tell people more about who you are and what you do. Introduce yourself, okay? For newcomers.
Okay. I just had to, voices be going in my head.
Yes,
and I have to ignore those and say, not today, Hyacinth. I am Hyacinth Henderson. I've been with the Henderson Financial Group for the past 22 years. I serve as the co-CEO, and that's who I am.
Yes.
And what I do.
And you're fully licensed.
I am licensed and stuff, all my licenses and credentials. Right. You can learn more about that on www.thehendersonfinancialgroup.com. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, www.thehendersonfinancialgroup.com. But yes, I am a registered investment advisor, a licensed stockbroker. I have the credentials to give me the titles, but really I love what I do.
Yeah, we like what we do titles or not. We like what we do.
I love it. I'm just loving it more and more every day.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'm like, oh my God, this is
so now I've been doing this 38 years. You know what
yes. I mean? Yes. I'm like, oh my goodness. It's interesting.
Helping,
amazing.
Solving problems, creating.
Amazing.
Each day is always different. Yeah. It's always different. It's never a dull moment. And we really like sharing and helping people and telling people, because a lot of people don't know that, a lot of people don't know what they don't know, and they think that it doesn't exist. And, just because you don't know about it, don't mean that it's not on the planet.
Exactly.
You want to always be inquisitive and say to yourself, now I know I might not know this, but I know somebody out here know. Let me find out. And that's scripture, really. You have to ask, seek, and knock. And a lot of people don't do that. They just say, because I don't see it, it's not here. I can't figure it out. It's not. No. It's out here, and any problem that you have, there is a solution, and there's somebody that can help you. You just got to mainly you got to be proactive, and that leads us into today's conversation. She was asking what we're going to talk about. Time is going by so fast, and that's something that we don't do second nature. But I would say we don't really consciously think about it. We just do it. You know what I mean? And for it's the end of the year and it's another year, and people say, Happy New Year, but it's really not a Happy New Year, because the year is inside of you, and if it's not a new you, it can't be a new year. You know what I mean? So I want to talk about time and how what you do today will show up tomorrow. And it's very important. I think that we take it for granted. We don't really tune into it We really don't. We just like a cliche. But really, the seeds that you plant today will come up tomorrow. It depends on what you're planting and what are you focused on and what are you thinking about and what are you creating and what are you imagining. I said a lot, right?
A lot. Yeah, I love it.
Because that's deep, man. And a lot of people are creating and imagining without consciously knowing it, but they're creating and imagining stuff that's not going to help them. It's junk. It's fear, a lot of fear. But I want you to tune in today in transitions. That's what we talk about on Wednesday, is getting your mind right, like meditating, thinking about something, because your day is so busy, so to speak. People busy doing a whole lot of nothing, but you need to take and focus on what it is you're doing and what are you thinking. What do you say?
I like this. It makes me think about something that I was reflecting on last week. So when my son was probably between the ages of 1 and 2, maybe 2 and 3, he wore rain boots, and that's all he wore. He had Batman rain boots. Right.
I remember that.
I still have them in my closet. So he had Batman rain boots, and it didn't matter where we were going. He only wanted to wear his rain boots, so much so that when his foot got too big, I went on the internet and bought him another pair of Batman rain boots, bigger size of that, so that he could, I'm not getting ready to beef with you about this. Everybody's safe. Let's get the rain boots. From time to time, when I'm cleaning out my closet, I will take out the rain boots and say, "Choop, choop, you remember these?" And he has no recollection.
Wow.
He doesn't remember, and he looks at how small the rain boots are, and his feet, he's still size 11 now, 13 years old, size 11.
Wow.
And so he can't imagine that his foot used to get there.
Right.
And it got me to reflecting and pondering about how that's how we change. We don't even realize that the small actions we take, the small things that we do every single day are shaping us or growing us in some way for the future. And if we're not careful, that's why I love photos and printing photos and stuff like that. We will forget about who we used to be, what we used to do,
how we evolved,
and how we will forget about
and
that.
Some mistakes that we made.
Because humans are very interesting, right? So we do this thing where we're only thinking about the now.
Right.
Like even with my son, when I show him a picture of my daughter, he's like, "Who is this?" And I'm like, "That's your son." He's like, "Really?"
Yeah. DJ like that, 6 years old. He don't even want to. He can't even imagine looking at his 3-year-old page.
Correct.
He don't know who that is.
And it's not. It's just how humans are, right?
Yeah.
What you're seeing in time right now, you believe that that's how it's always been, yes. And you also believe that's how it's always gonna be.
That's it. Only what you see right now.
But the thing about that, so the reason why I brought up the rain boots is just as day by day, I kept feeding him and nourishing him and loving him and stuff like that. And now he's 13, he continued to grow and evolve. And I stopped buying him rain boots, right? So when you think about you say, how is this connecting? The title of today's show is Today's Actions, Tomorrow's Results. Because we want you to understand, overstand, and understand that what you do today is laying the foundation for tomorrow. It doesn't work any other way. So if you get to your tomorrow, let's say it a different way, where you are today, let's break this down a little differently. Where you are today, where your bank account is today,
is because of what you did
yesterday, 5 years ago, 5 months ago. And right. So this is some people, when they come to this realization, or they'll call the Henderson Financial Group and say, "Oh my gosh, I wish I would have found you 5 years ago. And I should have." And I always say, timing is always divine. You found us now, but now let's not focus on what you wish you should have, could have, would have had done, because now today will soon be yesterday. And you get to take some actions today for your tomorrow. So if you're looking at where you are today and you kind of like, "I ain't really feeling this ain't how I want to live," you must sit down with yourself and say, "Hold on. If where I am today is a reflection of the things I did yesterday, last year, last week, 10 years ago,
what are you doing today?"
Exactly.
You got to say, what are you doing today? Because today is very, 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 very important.
Yeah.
I mean, if it ain't important to nobody else, it's today is very important to you in your life, because it's time that you can never get back, but it's valuable. And what you do today is going to either hurt you or benefit you tomorrow.
Yeah.
And when I say tomorrow, it doesn't necessarily have to be tomorrow, the next day, 24 hours. It could be next month. It could be next year. But it does. Whatever you do today, and that's something I was thinking about, and we're not really conscious, like you were just saying, how my grandson, your son, how you were saying how he can't even relate to, his cowboy boots, Wayne boots, when he used to wear them. And I was just with DJ, Jasmine, my other grandson, who's 6 years old. When we show him, he's 6, gonna be 7 coming up. But when we show him his pictures when he was 2 and 3, he can't even relate. He like, who is that?
Right. That's you. No, it's not.
Yeah. And then Jasmine show him, his mother showed him a picture when she was 6, and he like, who is this?
Right.
How could that be you, Mom?
Right.
Mama, how can that be you? That's not you. Who is this little girl? I don't know her. Right. And she's trying to tell him that was me, your mother, when I was your age. And he don't even want to look at it. It's like a stranger. He cannot, so that's what I mean. Like, in terms of deep thought thinking, humans erase and quickly forget. And really reflecting on your past pattern, it's like growth and development. Let me tell you why I say that. All medicine, the whole legal system, in order for them to go further, they have to look at what did not work or how a case was tried 15, 20 years ago. That's what we call case study. In medicine, they look at research and development because at one time they couldn't cure polio. But now they can, because what they did and what came up and how not to do things. So they look at the history only for a guide. That's all. Listen, when you married the wrong guy, you got to make sure the guy that you with right now don't have all the traits that dude had. I mean, that guy, you remember him? He didn't never come home. Now this guy you just started dating, he ain't coming home. He's staying all night. That's an indication. That's research and development. So I'm not saying live in the past, but it does have something to do with your future, because you get information. You really, really do. If you ate some bad food today and it made you sick, now next week, if you go back and don't remember that same food made you bad and you repeat it, oh my God. And a lot of people, I'm telling you, reason why we keep repeating the same dumb stuff, because we're not conscious of what's really happening. Yeah, that's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. It's this is good. I love what you're saying, because when you say that you have to go back and get the information, it's so important. It's twofold. So it's like, let's put that on the table. I love that, because you have to get the information, because information
Research,
promotes
development.
Awareness. And when you become aware based on the information, then you can take action. When you take action, you can advance and accelerate. But let's go back. Oftentimes, most times, frequently, what a lot of people do is when they get the information, they stay there.
Yes.
Oh, woe is me. Why this happened to me? I can't believe this. You keep regurgitating the information and how it got here. No, baby, the information is not what it's for.
That's not what it's for.
The intel that you get from reflecting is not for you to sit there and be stuck. It's not for you to have a pity party. The information that you get is for you to say, oh, okay.
It empowers you, believe it or not.
Exactly.
It really does empower you, whether you figure it was good, a good experience or a bad experience. But I tell you something, you got the facts. You know, you ain't gonna do that no more unless you want to repeat the same result.
Yeah. And that's so powerful. I want y'all to run the tape back when you catch the replay. I don't want you to miss that, because a lot of times what humans will do is say, I don't want to think about that. I just want to go forward. I don't want to do Mike Jack. I don't want to look at the man or the woman in the mirror. I don't want to do that. I don't want the information. But sweetheart, without the information, without you taking the time to reflect, how are you going to go forward?
Yeah. Research and development.
How are you going to go forward? And then, so this is so empowering, because when you understand that, you're like, it's basically when you reflect on the information and you like figuring out how you have the answers to the next test. It's basically like back in the days when I was in school, we didn't do things digital. The teacher actually had handwritten tests.
Yeah.
It's almost as if you have the answers for the pop quiz that's coming up next week, because one thing is for certain and two things is for sure. If you had that experience in the past, there's going to be another opportunity for you to have it again in the present. Don't miss that. Don't miss that, because the characters, the people, the names, all that changed, but the principle remains the same. And until you, what we like to say, master that principle, you're going to have that same experience disguised differently. That's like Mr. Henderson said, if you was married to somebody who was staying out all night before and you got rid of him and you with this man and you like, why won't you come home? Why are you begging him to come home? That ain't you already been through that.
You already have the answer.
You have the answers to the test,
the experience
that says if he start off not coming home, he gonna continue not coming home. So why, if you have the answers to the test, why are you erasing the answers and trying to put something up? So I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. because we're using these illustrations and examples to paint a picture to you, but it's really about your life, right? So when you think about this and you're like, okay, I'm going to use the information not to stay stuck, but to come up with a plan, because what you do right now today, what you do right now today is going to determine your tomorrow, and you can change it like that.
That's right. And it's very, very important, but you gotta take hold to it. You gotta understand it. You gotta be conscious of it. And they don't teach it. This is something we don't learn in grade school, because most of the grade school stuff is not really powerful things that you can really, really fly with.
Well, they're not teaching you in grade school.
No, they're not.
They're institutionalized.
That's right. They're telling you what to think.
And they're not teaching you.
They're telling you what to think.
Yeah.
Telling you what.
So
big difference.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. This is good stuff. So now that we understand, everybody here understands that we're talking about that your actions of today is going to produce tomorrow's results. The next question is, I only have one question for you, and that question is, what you gonna do, boo?
Yeah.
What you gonna do?
Now you hear this. You have control. You have a lot of power.
Yeah.
Your actions, what you do today. I mean, in these 24 hours, you just say, listen, you say, man, I ain't gonna do nothing. I'm just gonna chill. I ain't doing nothing.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, don't expect to get nothing. You didn't learn nothing today. Tomorrow, you lacking. You know, you just disregard it. You just wasn't conscious of nothing, you know? And then next week or next year, you nothing. You have to do things today that are going to benefit you in the future. And the future is the next hour.
Now, Mr. Henderson, you're saying this, it's just flowing off your tongue. You're just saying these words, old wise one, old big kahuna. Is this relatively easy?
Well, you know,
or let me ask it in a different way.
Yeah.
Because we talked about easy before.
Right.
Why do you believe that the masses don't do something different?
Because we get comfortable in repeating the same thing. It's called comfort zone.
Okay.
And most people do what they're comfortable doing, and it becomes second nature. And to do something different is to get something different. And most people really gravitate toward easy and comfort.
I love that you use the word comfort and comfort zone, because it instantly made me think of the fact that what one is now comfortable with now was once uncomfortable.
Yes, and growth.
So let's take it back to the
growth.
simplest. This is something that everybody can relate to.
In growth.
When you first came out of your mother's womb,
right,
you could not walk.
Right.
You couldn't walk. You went through falling down, getting up, you know, being in a little school. Come on, tink, tink. Come on. You went through that. And at that point, when you were an infant, you've seen it before. Baby sit down. They're like, I ain't doing this. And I always say, I don't blame them, because I want somebody to carry me around all day too. Like, told me to, right? So they sit down, and then it got to the point that they took their first steps. And now they're comfortable walking. As humans, you are comfortable walking.
Right.
But you didn't come out of your mother's womb being comfortable walking.
And nobody taught you.
Same thing with writing your ABCs. Same thing with holding a pencil or holding a fork to eat. Same thing with washing your body and brushing your teeth. My son, again, broke 2 bones in his right hand. So now I got to brush his teeth. Right. So I'm like, and he's like, Mom, you're having too much fun with this. Right. But it gave me a flashback to when I first taught him how to brush his teeth. So many of you now are comfortable with brushing your teeth, but at one point in time, you didn't know how to do it. It was only because you continued to do it. Same thing with continuing to walking. So when you talk about humans not progressing and moving forward because they are stuck in their comfort zone, I want y'all to realize that what is uncomfortable today can become comfortable tomorrow if you just work at it.
And another thing, anytime you're in any type of comfort zone, think about it. You cannot grow.
Yeah.
Because the comfort zone says you right there. You're comfortable. You're right there. It means lacking of change. If you're going to stay in a certain mindset, then all that you're receiving and all that you're getting is perfect for that mindset, for that comfort, for that effort. everything is perfect. When you are comfortable
Mhm.
and you're in a mindset that you're okay, you shouldn't expect more than what you're getting.
And on the flip side, don't be mad.
No.
Here is an example that you can probably relate to. You got you a good job. You are comfortable in your position. You ain't go back to school. You didn't take no professional development. You ain't take no continuing education.
And you brag to everybody else that you don't do nothing on your job.
And it's a good job.
And it's easy.
It's easy. Meanwhile, bread going up, gas going up. Now you want to say this is wrong. They this and this and this. Well, hold on, sweet pea. When you was comfortable with your good job, not taking any professional development, no continuing education, didn't apply for a supervisor position, because what I hear a lot is, I don't want all that responsibility. Okay, you don't want the responsibility? No problem. When the bread and milk go up, who you mad at? Because you're comfortable. So to Mr. Henderson's point, when you settle in your comfort zone, baby, there's a trade-off.
That's a trade-off. That's all you supposed to get. In other words, if your cup,
Mm-hmm.
and your cup is a 6-ounce cup, don't be trying to get 12 ounces in that 6-ounce cup, because you got to get a bigger cup.
Yeah.
There's nowhere in the world, if your thoughts and your consciousness and your mind says that you are a 6-ounce cup, you can only hold 6 ounces. In order for you to get more, 12 ounces or 16 ounces, you got to get another cup. Now, if you don't feel like getting another cup, it's going to be hard for you to put 12 ounces in that 6-ounce cup, because it's going to keep spilling out. There's no way. And it's the same with your effort, what you do.
Mm-hmm.
What you do. If you want more, then you got to do more. But if you say, there's a lot of people that say, man, I got this job. They don't bother me.
Mm-hmm.
I come in when I want to come in. It's easy. I'm good.
Yep.
Don't expect to make more, because your efforts is in perfect alignment with what you receive. What you're putting out in the universe is perfectly the same amount that you're supposed to receive. What you're putting out is what you're supposed to. If you want more, you have to do more. And the illustration, I'm giving you a visual, because we can look at an automobile. You sitting inside of your car. If you pass that gas a little bit, you can go 20 miles an hour. You can keep it at 20 miles an hour. But all of a sudden, if you want to go 70 miles an hour, can you keep that pedal the same pressure at 20 miles? No. You got to press that gas a little more in order for you to go faster. So in other words, you got to press yourself a little more. You got to do a little more. You got to think a little different in order for you to get more. If you want more, but if you don't more, just keep it at 20. A lot of us, half of the country is riding around, if we were automobiles, at 20 miles an hour. When they see somebody doing 70, 80, like, oh my God, that person is special. No, you have it too. You just haven't pushed yourself. So today's topic is your actions that you do today. I promise you, guaranteed, no hocus pocus, it will show up tomorrow. You get what you deserve. That's it. You get what you deserve. And when you do more, you deserve more. Now, I ain't talking about your supervisor. I ain't talking about that. The universe will actually give you more, because you get so big to you. Listen, anytime you start getting more consciousness, the first thing you're supposed to do is say, okay, I got to get a bigger cup. So you want to do more. You want to learn more. You want more education. You want to learn more. The person who not interested in learning more, they're supposed to be content with having what they have. You should not want more. That's when you get out of alignment. That's when pain comes. That's when jealousy comes. That's when deceit comes. That's when the lower self comes. That's when robbing and stealing. You're supposed. You go in somebody's house and taking somebody's stuff. You want to take somebody's watch or ring. You know that's against the universal law, not just man law. You're violating, and the universe is gonna take care of you. There's no way you're gonna live happily ever after, because you're out of alignment with the universe.
And your natural self. You're out of your. I love that you mentioned alignment. You know, that's my favorite word.
Yeah.
Right. So I love that because and I love the way that you broke it down. It's true. If you're only driving 20 miles an hour, if you're in, because baby, you a car. Baby, listen, you in control. Like picture your
all
life.
Of us, I like cars.
Just had this conversation with my 13-year-old last night. All of us are like automobiles. You are behind the steering wheel. You can go 20, you can go 50, you can go 100. It's up to you, right? So here's the thing. You will be out of alignment if you're going 20 and you're like, I'm good with going 20. The fact that you're going 20 does not mean you're out of alignment. The fact that you're going 20 and envious, jealous, have all these other emotions about people who are going 40.
Right.
Or going, how they get there before me. And to translate this outside of the car analogy, when you look at people who you see as successful, when you look at people living their life, and if you're sitting there in a space of jealousy, envy, greed, with all these other lower vibrational terms, it's out of alignment. Because why you think you're supposed to be in the south of France flying first class over there and you fine with your good job, not doing no extra?
Yeah.
Like, it's a mismatch.
Right.
Now, you can be fine with your good job, not taking any continuing education, not doing any extra, and go to Orlando. Right. Or go to Westwood. You can be fine with that and be happy. That's an alignment, right? And so here's the thing. We're not telling you that you have to stay where you are. What we're saying is when you recognize that there is a misalignment, well, dang, I'm sitting here in my good job and I refuse to go higher, but I do want to go to Italy.
Well, see, that's what happens with us. And see, we get a lot of this. What you're talking about, we get a lot of this because you got a crossing guard who makes crossing guard income, but she's on South Beach eating $250 a meal plate.
Correct. And I'm not telling you to leave your job.
She could do it because everybody got choice.
I'm not telling you, but you might want to cook at home.
If you're a crossing guard.
If you don't want to cook at home, what you want me to do to advocate? Like, it doesn't work that way. But here's the thing. When you recognize the misalignment, when those feelings come up, jealousy, envy, desire, whatever it is, when they come up, don't shun yourself. You got two options. You only two. You can say, okay, I'm going to sit here and continue being where I am doing 20 or at my good job and not doing no continuing education, because people don't realize the amount of uncomfortableness that it takes for you to be comfortable. Ooh. Right. So I always say, like, when you look at me and you see, oh, Hyacinth's baby, come to my house to see all the books. This book's on the kitchen table, on my bed, in the bed, outside the bed, in the bathroom. It's notepads everywhere. Like, you see
what day of that when I came in? What day was that when I said, man, they had to take this stupid test? It was 100.
Oh my God. Was that Saturday we were here?
No, but the next Saturday day I came in.
Oh, Monday.
Because I did it on Sunday. And I said I wanted to go wrap my
110 questions.
Yes. And it was all on Social Security. It was, oh my God, it was on the labor statistics and all this stuff. Oh, it was a lot of, and I was in bed and I was watching TV and I had my laptop right there. And I said, okay, I gotta take, and listen, the book that they give you to study was almost 700 pages.
Seen that? I ain't do it
with no pictures.
I seen it.
It was a 700-page book with no pictures, with 110 questions.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And it gives you CE credit, continuing education credit.
10 hours.
Yes.
10 hours.
And I said, let me knock this out on between Saturday and Sunday,
Yeah.
Because I ain't want to just, 700-page book. And I said, oh, I got to.
You were very uncomfortable doing it.
What?
Very uncomfortable doing
mad.
It. Yes.
Remember I told you I was so mad. I told Natalie when I finished the test and it said, congratulations, you scored. I scored like a 90 on it, And I said, wow, this is the dumbest test. Because I was asking you all kind of statistical stuff, like how many people over 65 years old, who rely on Social Security. And if you're 65 and you're married, what's the chances one of you gonna live to 90 years old? Who cares? Do you think my client care? Client come to me, I'm gonna say, listen, one of y'all, come on. It was a lot of dumb stuff, Heisen. I was like, but the point is, after I took the test and I finished the test, I told Natalie, I said, I'm so mad. She said, why? I said it was the dumbest test. They know people, it was asking you questions. In other words, it's like asking you, how many Eskimos are left or something about the Eskimos. You know what I mean? And you're like, what does that have to do with?
Right.
I've always had a problem with that. Even when I was in high school, they used to ask me how high is Mount Everett, and I was poor, and I ain't never been to a mountain.
Right.
In a test on
You ain't
that.
never seen the mountain.
Never even seen the
Don't
mountain.
even know a mountain exists.
And then in the test when I was in high school, how high is Mount Everest? Who cares?
Right.
I ain't never seen a hill.
Right. I love that example though, because I took the same webinar and they said you get 10 hours of continuing education, right? And so I think we need, what do we need, like 13 or something every year? It's 13. So 10 would have been a big chunk.
Right.
So I'm like, oh yeah, let me take the webinar, and afterwards you have to take the test.
We need 30. You actually need 30. This is kind of for the CFP, kind of for also.
So you cross rep. So that's fine.
For
So
insurance and all that. Right?
The point is, for Mr. Henderson, he did it. He saw it. He took the time and he did it, and he got his 10 hours.
Right.
I saw that. I was like, this ain't the best use of my time. I got a whole lot of other stuff that I need to do right now, and I can do this in a different way, right?
Different mood, different time,
different continued education resource, so I can do it differently, right? But the thing is, I'm not upset because he got 10 hours of CE and I don't have none. I'm not jealous that he got. I'm not like, dang, how you got?
Because you know what I went through.
That's the point. So that's why we talk about today's actions, tomorrow's results, and we start talking about being uncomfortable now, so that periods of, and not just always uncomfortable, because that ain't fun either, right? But going through periods of recognizing that you're going to have to be uncomfortable so that you can get comfortable.
Right.
Right. And what I was saying before, I think we kind of got sidetracked, is wherever you are, it's not good or bad or right or wrong. You can be wherever you want to be. You can be making $50,000 a year now and decide right now, you know what? I'm ready to make $100,000.
Your actions. You got to take action.
You can say, I'm ready to make $100,000. What do I need to do to make it? And then you may start making $100,000. And then you say, I'm ready to make $150,000.
That's right.
I'm ready to make I'm ready. You know what?
Your actions.
You can decide that.
Actions.
Regardless of where you are and what you're experiencing right now. However, in order for you to get to that place where you're comfortably making six figures, or you're comfortably living the house with the person of your dreams, or the woman or the man, like where you're comfortable, you're going to have to go through the uncomfortableness.
Right.
You cannot stay where you are now and say, I want this over here, but you refuse to move.
Right. In other words, if you're a crossing guard and you don't like the money, you can't afford anything, you can say, cybersecurity, that's futuristic jobs. They make $150,000.
Talking my language.
What is a cybersecurity? Then you find out, you could learn and be working as a cybersecurity analyst in 4 years. And you go, okay, do I have 4 years? Am I going to die in 4 years? What I'm going to do in 4 years? Is 4 years too long? But if I know that I feel that I'm going to be alive in 4 years, I feel I've been alive in 10 years, 4 years, I can go from being a crossing guard salary and I can be making $150,000 being a cyber security analyst. That's futuristic, that is so in demand. What is you don't have to know nothing about a cybersecurity analyst.
They're going to teach it to you.
They're going to teach you everything. And they say, here's the book, page 1, page 2, and you're going to be making in the next 4 years $150,000. But you got to take action. If you say, no, that take too long, keep being a crossing guard.
Right.
But what you do, your actions will show up 4 years from now.
Yeah. And don't get upset, because things got to go up. Your mom and daddy, grandma, them, they told you bread was a quarter back in the days. They told you it was a gallon of milk was in a glass container and it was a quarter. They used to send you down there to the Piggly Wiggly, the 5 and dime. Those was y'all stores, right? You heard about this when you was growing up. You just, for some reason, thought that price evolution was going to stop with them. And where you are, it was going to be here forever. So wherever you are, you're fine to be there. However, understand the world not gonna wait on you. No. This is evolution, baby.
Last night we was coming from Spanish, downtown Miami, right? And we, downtown has changed so much. Miami.
I love it. I love seeing the skyline when I go. Oh my God, yes.
And we was driving after the Spanish class. We was driving like 9 o'clock at night. Me and Ivo, and I was looking at all the buildings, and it was, oh my God, it's some beautiful condos and hotels and all that stuff. Like, this is a whole nother world the way it was 20 years, 30 years ago, right? And I said, well, who gonna live here? I said, these people, you got to have some money.
Oh, they got
if you
money.
Don't have, they got money. And then there's people that got no money.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the people that don't have no money, it's going to be like a whole other planet.
Yep.
And the people that got money, it's going to be grooving and doing. So if you're crossing God, I'm using crossing God as an example, because if you're happy and you're content,
be content.
That's you.
That's it.
Maybe you was born to be a crossing God.
Yeah.
That's content. It. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying if you got an itch, If you got a wonderment,
If you go downtown in Miami and say, "Oh, I like this. Oh, I want to eat at this restaurant.
How can I
Oh, I
do that?
want this." Exactly.
how can I
Yeah.
get this?
Yeah.
Then you got to take action.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm telling you, what you do today, don't worry about you don't know how to do
Yeah.
nothing. None of us knew how to do nothing. Like Heisey just talked about earlier. Her son, when he came out of her body, he didn't know how to walk. And she didn't say, okay, today we're going to learn how to walk. He evolved into walking. He evolved for crawling, then walking. And you think about it, we all came down the same path. It's effort. We just get grown, and then we just feel like, okay, we got to just retire soon as we can get, soon as everybody want to retire and not fully grown. Isn't that something?
They just want to stop.
They want to be, how you retire and not really be fully mentally grown? That's something we had to talk about that.
Yeah. We'll talk next. Oh, we're not going to be here next week.
You're not going to be here next
Maybe
week.
the week after. We'll see.
Actions speak louder than words. What you do right now shapes your tomorrow.
Yeah. A lot of times people get caught up, and that's why I gave you that guys the example so that you can see, like the shoes, growing out of shoes, right? Because it's not about my son and his shoes. You've grown out of some stuff too. I mean, think about it. When you when you gain weight or lose weight, it's not that one day you fit your clothes and the next day you just like, oh, it's like, dang, I didn't wore these jeans. Now all of a sudden, what happened? I can't get my pinky lit. Like I can't. Like it's a gradual thing, right?
Your actions.
So keep these illustrations and these examples in the forefront of your mind when you are, after you make that decision of saying, I want something different. And then when you start to face that period of uncomfortableness, because when you face that period of uncomfortableness, the first response for the average person is to quit. Right. So let's talk about your clothes. Let's say you go to put on your favorite dress and that thing ain't laying right. You go to put on your favorite slacks and you can't button them up. Right. And you're like, you know what? I need to get back into the gym. I need to start exercising. And when you first go get back into the gym and start exercising again, it's going to be uncomfortable.
Yes.
It's going now you have to know that, and you can refer to this conversation and say, I know it's uncomfortable today.
That's part of the prerequisite.
However, if all I got to do is keep showing up. If I keep showing up tomorrow, the next day, then it's going to be like magic. I'm going to put that dress on again. I'm going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I can fit into the dress again. Oh my God, I can put so in those moments of uncomfortableness, you have to say, just keep going. When I'm reading 5 books at a time, okay, I'm on page 20. Okay, I'm going to read to page 10. Just get to, page 30. I'm going to read 10 pages. I'm not looking at the book. 400 pages.
Right. You can't. Oh my God.
I have to.
That's 700-page book. I just went correct.
Because what you are telling yourself when it's in the periods of uncomfortableness in your everyday life, what I want you to leave with is, if I just keep showing up and do a little bit every day, if I keep doing, before I know it, I'm gonna look back and I would have come from here to there. Yeah. Just like you've outgrown shoes and clothes and people
and weight.
Yeah. Yeah.
And weight, it's so true. And the reason why we're giving you different examples because it's all around us to see. Yeah. But you need more than just your physical eyes to see.
Yes.
You have to understand to see what's going on. You don't need your eyes to see what's going on because the effect is here, and you want to know, how did it get there? You want to know, how did a person get there? That's why people who are prosperous, people who are, like I say, prosperous than the average person. You don't find prosperous people jealous of another prosperous person because we all know that whatever someone else has and achieve, it wasn't easy. They had to pay a price. And it's amazing how adults, especially when you get past 40 years old, 50, 60, 70 years old, still trying to find the secret formula to get something for doing nothing easy. It is absolutely astounding. It's incredible. I was just talking to an ex-football player and he was telling me, how a lot of his ex-football players, they still looking for something for nothing. They don't understand the way the universe goes. See, it's always a trade-off. It always means that in order to go to the next level, it has to be hard. It cannot be easy. If you in the second grade and you are the head of the class in the second grade, when you go to the third grade, they're not going to give you second grade material information. Third grade doesn't automatically mean that you're going to be the head person, the smartest in third grade, because the material and the learning stuff gets harder. It's supposed to. And by the time you get to the sixth grade, they're not going to be giving you still second grade study material. It's sixth grade. It's something that you didn't even know that exists, but you have to step up and be uncomfortable, and you have to learn. But when you was in the second grade, you was king, you was queen, you was all that. You was teacher's pet. By the time you got in the sixth grade, you sitting in the back of the room.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's some people up there. You like, whoa, how did they get so smart? You know what I mean? So that's how life is. If you want to get up there, you have to do more in the sixth grade than what you did in the second grade. And then when you get to the 10th grade, you definitely got to do more in the 10th grade, the study, the understanding, than what you did in the sixth grade. And by the time you get in the 12th grade, it's a whole lot more than you did in the second grade. You understand? It really is. You cannot be in the second grade thought, mind, mentality, thinking that you understand 12th grade curriculum and understanding. It's totally different because you haven't went through the steps. You haven't developed. And unfortunately, you know, they pass people, you know, get people out of class and just you get out of school, you drop out or whatever, you didn't learn anything. And then when you become a young adult, you really don't know nothing in terms of how the phases in development and how the effort and the trade-off works. It always gets harder. When you see an NFL player, people want to be an NFL player, but that shit is hard. If you really, man, they running full speed, knocking each other out. I mean, there ain't no weight class. You got a 400 pound, 300 pound. I mean, it's hot sun. It's in the cold. It's in the rain. I mean, you like, that's why a lot of people don't. And then it's short lived and you spending all your money. And then think about that. And then running a business, you got to constantly, you know, Taco Bell just came. Did you see the Taco Bell talking about now they're going to start selling some chicken nuggets.
I didn't see that.
And I always give an example of Taco Bell, how they always reinvent themselves.
Yeah.
You got to reinvent yourself in order for you to stay relevant, in order for you to stay with times, because time is not stuck. The time that we live in continues to evolve and move. We're not back in 1960 or 70 anymore. We're in the year 2024.
Halfway to 2025. Can you believe it?
It's going to be 2030. You know, they say on that test I just took.
See, they gave you something.
Gave me something that I had to remember. They just put it inside of me.
Tell us what they said.
They said by the time 2030 is here, 2030, there will be more 65-year-olds for the first time in the history of the world living than 18-year-olds.
Wow. Especially they keep doing all this. They ain't making no more babies.
That's right. And by the time 2030, they're going to be more old people, 65 and older, than they are young people, 18 and under.
Wow.
For the first time in the whole world. Isn't that amazing?
Very interesting.
That was something that I needed.
That's interesting.
Test. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Like,
wow.
go figure. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. You know, but anyway.
But you know what that says, right? So that says that people are living longer.
Right.
So we need to plan differently for their
Longevity,
retirement.
right.
Exactly. Their
Running out of
longevity.
money.
Think about how you're going to take Social Security. What else do you have? Social Security is not enough, right? So yeah.
Yeah, they said, well, and another part of the test was, what is the number one concern out of people when they're getting ready to retire? The number one concern is fear of running. They asked them, they said, what is it? What's the biggest concern? Dying? Or fear of running out of money. And you would think that, man, people, you know, you retire, you're afraid to die. Man, people said, nah, they ain't afraid to die. Their biggest fear in life is running out of money and still being alive.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Yeah, it's true. Something that I wanted to go back to when you mentioned, you know, you're the superstar, got all the certificates in second grade, third grade, but in 12th grade, you in the back of the class, you flunking, you know, parent teacher conference.
Like what happened?
Like what happened to you, right? So what happens is, and so we're using this as an illustration. You can apply this to your life and the lives of the people who are around you, right? what often happens is the third grade or second grade superstar who is not putting in the work to be successful in the 12th grade ends up blaming the system. Oh, it's the teacher. They don't want me to pass. They giving me this work. It's too hard. Why they made this? They don't want nobody to fail. It's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy. Like all this stuff. And so if you're not careful, you and your good grown self listening to this broadcast, you will find yourself in that space of talking about what they don't want you to do, how they this and this is this. When instead you should be looking at yourself and to say, where can I get uncomfortable so that I can put in some work so that I can then be comfortable, right? Where can I get uncomfortable? What can I read? What can I study? What can I do? Where can I stop spending all my money? Where can I start investing my money? Where can I hire professional help? What can I do that's going to make me uncomfortable today so that I don't have to be a has-been? Like, I don't have to talk about back in the days. That's one thing I'm like, come on, I want to hear your story one time, but I don't want to keep hearing your has-been story about how you was the man back in the days. Like, baby, what are we doing now, right? And a lot of people, they get caught up on that. I used to own 15 pieces of property. I used to own this. I used to have this. Gone. Okay, but it's tell me about today.
Gone. What action, whatever action you did, you don't own it now.
And so here's the one that we often hear. I used to own property, and then Section 8, and they told my dad, okay, but what property you got? I ain't got none today because, okay, but wait, you stuck in second grade.
Action.
So what did you do? You stuck in the second grade because you had an experience, and instead of taking that information and then using it as intel to come up with the plan, you stay stuck there, and now you want us to hear about it. Mr. Henderson is getting antsy. I can see him moving around.
I'm thinking about my appointment I got.
I can feel your energy shifting. It's okay. Thank you. I think today was a wonderful show, and we won't be here next week. You will be here this Saturday.
Yes.
This Saturday, you can catch the Understanding Money Show this Saturday with Mr. Henderson and James T. Thomas. We won't be here next Wednesday, but we shall return the Wednesday.
And you can always go back and look at these videos on YouTube and also on Facebook. Our Facebook. Yeah, on Facebook. How do they tune into it? What is it?
The Henderson Financial Group.
The Henderson Financial
Group. Yeah, just search in the search. Yeah, the Henderson.
You can go on Facebook and go The Henderson Financial Group. If you don't have Facebook, you can just go to Google and put in The Henderson Financial Group Facebook, and it'll come up.
Yeah, that'll come up. Or you can go to YouTube and put in The Henderson Financial Group.
You can also go to our website, right?
www.thehendersonfinancialgroup.com. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, that is www.thehendersonfinancialgroup.com.
Yes, DeLawrence, how you doing, my brother? Tracy. Denise Ward, Miss Redhead, Curtis Kegler, Curtis. What's happening, my brother? So today we're talking about your actions, what you do today.
If you don't do nothing today, don't be mad when you have nothing tomorrow.
That's right. If you don't plant no seed, that's right. And if you do nothing today, if you do it all this week,
don't hear about it.
That's right, because it ain't nothing gonna happen, because it goes against the universal law. If you don't plant a seed, don't be waiting around for a harvest. You have to plant good seeds in order to get good results. So when you see somebody who's getting good results, don't be envious of that person. You know that person is working, that person is planning, that person is doing something. You know what I mean? They really, really are. And if you see them out having a good time or whatever, but trust me, they done already planted. They done something, because they understand the system. They understand. And the whole point that we're talking about today is we want more people to get on board with trade-offs and knowing that it's not easy. You know, it really is not easy. And the reason why it's not easy, because we have not been conditioned to go toward the stuff that's not easy. We have been conditioned to have a good time and feel good all the time and have fun all the time, you know, but it's a time and place for everything. You have to first put in the work, then you could also have a good time. It always comes like that. And some people who are still grown think they're just going to have sugar. But no, you know, it's got to be a little bitter too. I mean, if you want to actually plant some seeds, you can't just say seeds jump in the ground. You got to get your hands dirty. You got to put the seeds in there. You got to water. You got to cultivate. Then the watermelons come up. And then the collard greens come up. Then the mangoes come up. But you have to do something. In life, it's always a trade-off. There's a trade-off always. If you don't understand the trade-offs, you really don't understand the essence of life and the way things work. Growth. Trade-off. And you want to look at it and say, okay, if I don't do this and I want to do that and I want to go here and I want to go further, what is the trade-off? You can't get to the moon without getting in the rocket. You cannot. If I want to fly to New York, I got to get on a plane. I'm not too sure about that plane. I'm not even flying it, but I got to take that chance. And hopefully I made it. I've made it so far. That's a trade-off. If you want to lose weight, man, you 400 pounds, you can't keep eating all them chocolate cakes back to back. You got to reframe. It's all what my point is: a trade-off. You have to say, okay, what am I going to do and what am I going to reframe in order to get to the next level? You're going to have to. You cannot go to the second grade with the same mindset, the same consciousness, the same level of smartness, and get to the sixth grade.
Not gonna work.
They'll put you back, right?
Well, I don't know if they do that anymore. Yeah, I think so. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what they do.
We want to be able to pass that test,
right? Yeah. You're right. They'll
Right.
put you. Yeah, they do put you back.
Yeah, you
I
want to
don't
be able to
think
pass
they
that
just pass
test
you
until you just get in your self-esteem so small, you just quit. You just quit, and then you go, work on the docks.
He didn't.
I mean, excuse me. I mean,
you'll just go
you
do
quit,
something else.
You go do some labor.
Something else.
Yeah, you can help
Speaking of
somebody.
mangoes, if you're one of our existing clients and you don't have a mango tree, but you love mangoes, I have so many mangoes on my tree.
Oh, people gonna start calling here now.
Let them call. What am I do with the mangoes? They're not good for our blood type, so I can't eat them no more. Well, I
Just
can eat a
put
little
big
bit.
basket out there in front of your house and say free mangoes. They'll come. Yeah.
If you're one of our existing
Just put a big
clients
basket out there
and
say
you don't
free
have
mangoes.
access to a mango tree, because I feel like everybody in South Florida has a mango tree. You don't have a mango tree.
No,
I have so many mangoes, and it's
Bring
interesting.
Bring some home.
I'll bring them. I gotta get them off the tree.
Bring them home.
Bring them to the office. It's a
Yeah.
lot, but here's the thing.
I
I'm
ain't
gonna
gonna
share
get
this,
no
and I'm
tree.
gonna go.
You know,
You stop.
you get that.
I gotta get them off
But
the tree.
I don't know. I'm sorry, get a
Oh my
stick or
God.
something.
So, but here's the
Maybe
interesting
y'all man
thing.
Get it off.
No. I think it's a good idea. I made something to get my mangoes down.
Yeah.
Last year I didn't have any mangoes. I didn't have as many mangoes because the year before I had to trim the tree. It was so big, and I just was like, oh my gosh, what if you get a hurricane? So I trimmed it, and you have to trim it after hurricane season. So I trimmed it, and then I knew that the year after I trimmed it, which was uncomfortable, that the harvest was going to be lower. So last year I had a smaller harvest, and this year, oh my gosh,
that's a trade-off.
It's a trade-off.
That's how it
Yeah.
is.
So if
That's
you're a
it.
client and you need some mangoes, y'all call off.
We gotta
Okay.
go. Peace,
Love and
happiness,
not
soul.
So yes.
Soul.
All right. Until next time. Peace. And so why is this not working? Okay. Do soul trade.